We bring to your attention the top free MMORPG that you can play today. The MMORPG genre is going through hard times. New games in this segment are released less and less. However, there is still a decent amount of quality and well-researched projects that find loyal fans. Lost Ark. The main feature of the game is the combination of the classic 2.5D camera and the usual class system. There are 18 classes in total, each of which belongs to one of these archetypes, with modern game mechanics like facing. When completing a quest, part of an open location becomes a mini-instance. Systems of relations with NPCs. You can pump them not only with the help of quests, but also using emotions and other actions of the character and an interactive environment in battles with bosses. EVE Online. This game is the most paid of all the free projects on our list. Before 2016, EVE was free to play for only a few weeks, after which you had to pay for a subscription. Now, with some restrictions, you can play without donation as much as you like. However, no one bothers to accumulate enough in-game credits and pay for a full-fledged account with their help. This opportunity has been here almost from the very beginning. Regardless of the chosen account, grandiose space battles, a magnificent simulation of the galactic economy, a huge amount of content, and almost endless leveling await you. No one has yet been able to fully learn all the available skills in the 16 years of the project's existence. Neverwinter Online. Contrary to prophecy, Neverwinter has not become another banal MMORPG with all the consequences, or just a modified version of D&D Online. The game received a lot of accolades, found a huge number of devoted fans, and is consistently included in all the tops of the genre. When generating a character, the player is offered a wide choice of races and classes, and the game itself suggests which class suits you best, taking into account racial predispositions. As you level up, a lot of opportunities open up. Dungeons and arenas, a complex and interesting crafting system, unlimited useful professions, companions ready to support the character in battle, and even creating quests on your own. Lineage 2. Sometimes fans of the genre joke that the world is divided into World of Warcraft fans and Lineage fans. In many ways, game universes are similar, but there are significant differences. For example, PvP in Lineage is much more hardcore. If you hit someone, a conflict is already brewing, which can turn into a massacre with dozens of victims. Guilds here often unite not so much to roam the dungeons, kill monsters, and knock out equipment and other useful things from them, but to arrange large-scale battles in which the blood of one's neighbor flows in streams. Lineage has all the elements of a classic MMORPG. Choice of race and class when generating a character, development paths, the possibility of solo leveling, and group PE and PvP campaigns, thousands of quests, and other features for which we love such projects. Aion. The long-suffering world was split in two. In one part of it, where dense forests grow, full-flowing rivers flow, birds sing and butterflies flutter, the Elios settled. In another, where lifeless deserts stretch, darkness and hopelessness reign, the Asmodeans live. And in the abyss, stretched between the two parts of the world, the Balar live, trying to maintain at least some kind of balance. Despite the rather nice and well-designed graphics, the game is not particularly demanding, so it is also suitable for weak PCs. There is a choice of 7 classes. Almost everyone at level 10 has the opportunity to develop one of 2 class specializations. At the same stage, you can get wings, and after another 15 levels, participate in PvP battles. Also pleasing are the advanced options for customizing the appearance of the character, so there is hardly a chance to meet your double. Black Desert. Those who got the same type of online games, Black Desert will pleasantly surprise. Firstly, everything here looks completely different from what we are used to in Korean projects. Secondly, there are really a huge number of activities. If you want, do quests, explore the world, look for treasures, beat bosses. If you are tired, sit down to go fishing, brew your own beer, look after real estate to your liking. And if you want to play bad boy, rob someone. And all this in addition to the main line, the siege of fortresses, and PvE. The world pleases with realism. NPCs do not just stand pointlessly in their designated places all day, but go about their business, close shops at night, and go to bed, like all normal people. The geography is well thought out. There are no deserts bordering coniferous forests and other nonsense that representatives of the genre sometimes sin with. The action takes place in Arborea, a world divided into two continents, Shara and Arun. Definite pluses of TERA are a relatively wide choice of races and classes, from a classic mage with a whole set of spells to an engineer with various sci-fi features, interesting story quests, server stability, a huge, colorful, and open world. The disadvantages are the lack of motivation for PvP and the excessive frankness of the character's attire. Blade and Soul. Continuing our top best online MMO games, RPG Korean project Blade and Soul, which captivated gamers with chick graphics. The style of the game is similar to manga. The female characters here are too sexy, and the male characters are either too cute and look like girls or play with unrealistically huge muscles. B&S has 4 races and 9 classes with radically different combat tactics. The battles use a convenient auto-target system, and thanks to combo attacks, the battles are much more dynamic than we are used to seeing in MMORPG. Leveling a character is a little different from the classics of the genre. The hero completes quests, gains experience, and develops skills. The only difference is that changing the build will not hit your pocket so hard. Quests cannot be called original. You cannot read them at all, but immediately run in a given direction. Only weapons and accessories affect the character's abilities, and armor is needed, in fact, just for beauty. Blade and Soul is not innovative, but the project is undoubtedly of high quality and deserves attention. ArcheAge is loved and praised by many. Let's figure out why. Once in the starting location, you catch yourself thinking, another boring tutorial with grind quests that will haunt you to the end. In fact, the training line is intended only for adaptation to the world. Then everything will become more interesting. The world of ArcheAge is really huge, beautiful, and diverse. There are 4 playable races. All of them are humanoid and do not differ much from each other in appearance, except for the ferret, a kind of bizarre mixture of a person and a cat. Even when creating a character, detailed appearance settings are opened. There are 6 specializations available at the start. But this does not mean that the destiny of a warrior is only in brandishing a sword and the magician is doomed to throw fireballs. Specializations can be mixed, making hybrids, combining different useful skills. In addition to the expected classic MMORPG, there are also quite unexpected ones. For example, you can cross the sea on your own ship, get a living space, and do gardening at your leisure, so you won't be bored. Star Trek Online. An MMO set in the Star Trek universe simply could not fail to appear. And so, in February 2010, the fans rejoiced because now they could become part of their favorite saga. So, on the earthly calendar, the year is 2411. The Romulan Empire no longer threatens anyone. The Klingon Empire is at war with the Federation. The Alpha Quadrant is trying to recover from its battles with the Dominion, and Starfleet Academy is growing in popularity. Do not expect that dreams of becoming the captain of a ship with your own crew will immediately become a reality. You will have to start as a green officer. But after completing the training mission, you will be recognized as a hero, and you will be able to go in search of adventure, fight in space and on planets. Secret World Legends is a continuation of the popular Norwegian project. For those who are tired of fantasy worlds with elves and orcs, the game will become an outlet. The modern world, with its technology and urban landscapes, is intertwined with magic and mysterious forces. You can play as one of 3 factions based in New York, London, and Seoul. There is a choice of 9 classes using different types of weapons. After completing the training, the selected faction will begin to send you on missions to different parts of the planet. The pride of Secret World is investigation quests. These are ingenious puzzles, for the solution of which you will have to use your brains well. Secret World Legends has switched to a free-to-play model, so you can immerse yourself in an unforgettable dark atmosphere without any investment. Royal Quest. The developers of Royal Quest made no secret of their intention to create a Ragnarok clone. Aion-looking characters run around the vast open world for exploration. NPCs are scattered everywhere, eager to entrust them with something, and there is a pleasant atmosphere and beautiful landscapes around. Quests are sometimes really interesting, not devoid of humor, and even offering to make a moral choice. But still, most of them are based on the merciless genocide of monsters. The project will be of interest to fans of Ragnarok, because the developers have tried to keep all those elements for which thousands of gamers fell in love with this cult MMO. Karos. MMORPG Karos first saw the light in 2009. The plot is built around the centuries-old struggle between the forces of light and darkness for the possession of a special magical resource, a flat. The player will have to join this ongoing battle in the expanses of Asmar. You will soon understand why everyone needs Fleta so much, because you yourself will begin to need it to create cool weapons and equipment, and you will participate in massive battles for control of the only deposit of this resource. Classes are tied to races here. Humans can only be swordsmen or paladins. Suromes can only be sorceresses or archers, etc. The project received moderate reviews from critics, but as they say, felt-tip pens are different in taste and color. Tree of Savior is a project from the creator of the notorious Ragnarok Online. When the game was still in development, it was called R1 et al., transparently hinting to fans that it is worth waiting for the appearance of the heir to Ragnarok. Indeed, there are a lot of similarities. The plot, style, graphics immediately make you remember the predecessor of the project. At the same time, Tree of Savior cannot be called a clone of Ragnarok. Here, the plot is actually different, and the combat has changed by switching to a non-target system, and the character leveling resembles Ragnarok only remotely. At the same time, all those chips are preserved, remembering which fans of the legendary game let out a nostalgic tear. Aura Kingdom is a very colorful and kawaii-free MMORPG. The toy draws you into its nets, largely thanks to a non-standard tutorial. You immediately get a high-level character in cool equipment and have the opportunity to see what he is like and what you should expect from this pretty little world. Only after completing the training will you be thrown into the initial location naked clumsy. In addition, there are more than a dozen classes, pets with their own skills, simple controls, and interesting dungeons. Those who are looking for large-scale PvP battles have nothing to catch here, but there are more than enough opportunities to relax and have fun, plunging into the atmosphere of a beautiful anime world. Rift. You have to plunge into the thick of events taking place on the planet TERA, which is threatened by the Great and Terrible Destroyer. First, you need to choose for which faction you are ready to stay up at night and shed your blood. There are only two of them: the Guardians, who enjoy all the benefits of technological progress, and the Renegades, who place their hopes on powerful magic. In terms of gameplay and style, Rift follows the traditions of the genre. The character is pumped in quite the usual way. He completes a bunch of quests, exterminates hundreds of monsters, for which he receives experience points that bring him closer to his longed-for goal, to become the coolest of all. At the same time, you need to choose the most suitable development branch, competently pump abilities, and even improve equipment as far as possible. Albion Online belongs to the modern MMORPG, all because the standard gameplay of the genre here is diluted with mechanics from other areas. There is no binding to classes, there are sandbox elements, and all items, from a bottle of health potion to massive armor, are created personally by the players. Albion Online itself is isometric and reminds one of MOBA, the other, the Immortal Diablo. Star Wars: The Old Republic. Released back in 2011, MMORPG on Star Wars is not going to lose ground, as evidenced by its release on the site on Steam in 2020. The action of this game will take you 3,000 years before the events of the films. An interactive storyline awaits you, during which you yourself will determine your role: Jedi, Sith, Bounty Hunter, and so on. Star Wars: The Old Republic will boast 8 playable classes, a large-scale game world consisting of many planets, and of course, exciting lightsaber fights with players from all over the world. The game is free to play, but a subscription is required to access story add-ons. A selection of worthy free MMORPG replenishes and RuneScape, a game whose history goes back to 2001. It is so rich that as a result, on the web, you can find the classic version of the game and the modern one, which is distributed on Steam. RuneScape invites you to enjoy adventures in an open fantasy world that is constantly changing, and to do many other things that are not related to war. The good news is that the game has nice graphics and is undemanding to PC hardware. The Lord of the Rings Online. And even though the heyday of the Lord of the Rings Online has passed a long time ago, the game continues to exist and delight the fans of the Lord of the Rings who, under the impression of the films, wish to linger in the fantasy world. Oriented this MMORPG on gamers who prefer PvP. They will have to go through the events described on the pages of the novel side by side with their comrades in arms. The game does not go beyond the good old MMORPG, offering the gamer an extensive choice of classes and races, a standard pumping system, quests, crafts, and other activities. But due to the fact that all the action develops in the charming Middle-earth, you don't want to leave this virtual world at all. If your favorite game is not included in this list, write in the comments. Thanks for watching. Join this channel to get access to perks. Subscribe, watch our other videos, press thumbs up, turn on notifications, and you will always be aware of what to play today.